Welcome back, grade 4. Today we're going to be talking about the human eye, parts of the human eye and their functions. Which part of your body lets you read the book or watch a movie and see a soccer ball heading your way? Which part lets you cry when you're sad and makes tears to protect itself? Which part has muscles that adjust to let you focus on things that are close up or far away? If you guessed the eye, you're right. Your eyes are at work from the moment you wake up to the moment you close them to go to sleep. They take in tons of information about the world around you, shapes, colors, movements, and more. Then they send the information to your brain for processing, so the brain knows what's going on outside of your body. Our eyes are amazing. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning, they are constantly at work. They take in information about the world around us and constantly send images to the brain to be processed. Here's some of the vocabulary we're going to be learning about today. The students were not required to copy this down, but it is nice to just be able to see so that they can understand further. Today we're going to be talking about the cornea, the iris, the pupil, the lens, the sclera, the retina, and the optic nerve. The eyes are about the size of a ping pong ball and sit in eye sockets in our skulls. Our eyelids cover the front parts of our eyes. Their job is to keep the eye clean and moist by blinking several times a minute. The eyelashes on our eyelids also help to keep dust and dirt from getting in our eyes. The sclera is the white part of the eye. It provides a protective coating which covers most of the eye. The iris is the colorful part of the eye. It can change in size to control how much light goes through the pupil. The cornea is the clear dome that sits in front of the iris, the colored part of the eye. It helps your eye focus as light passes through. The pupil looks like a black circle in the center of the eye, but it's really an opening in the iris which lets light enter the eye. The pupil can change in size. It gets smaller in very bright conditions and larger in dark conditions. The anterior chamber is the space between the cornea and the iris. This space is filled with a special fluid that keeps the eye healthy. The lens and ciliary muscle. After light enters the pupil, it hits the lens. The lens sits behind the iris and is clear. The lens's job is to focus light rays on the back of the eyeball. The lens is held in place by the ciliary muscle. It can change the shape and thickness of the lens to help you focus on objects that are up close or far away. When you look at things up close, the lens becomes thicker, and when you look at things from far away, it becomes thinner. The vitreous body is the biggest part of the eye and gives the eye its shape. It's filled with a clear, jelly-like material called the vitreous humor. The retina is the very back of the eye. The retina takes the light the eye receives and changes it into nerve signals so the brain can understand what the eye is seeing. When the image hits the retina, it's actually upside down. The optic nerve carries the message from the eye to the brain. The message it sends to the brain are still upside down, but amazingly, the brain knows how to flip the image to the right way. Here's some pictures of how light actually enters the eye. Okay, if you were looking at a candle, it would enter the eye, in through the cornea, through the lens, it would flip it upside down and hit the back here. Doctors use special microscopes to look at these inner parts of the eye, such as the lens. After light enters the pupil, it hits the lens. The lens sits behind the iris and is clear and colorless. The lens's job is to focus light rays on the back of the eyeball, a part called the retina. Your retina is in the very back of the eye, and it holds millions of cells that are sensitive to light. The retina takes the light that the eye receives and changes it into nerve signals so the brain can understand what the eye is seeing. When light passes through the eye's lens and the image hits the retina, the image is actually upside down. So the message the optic nerve brings to the brain is upside down. But luckily, your brain knows how to flip the image over, so it's right side up. Now we ask the students to open their Quarter 4 online learning booklet and please label the different parts of the eye. This is their assignment for the rest of the day, so we ask that they take a picture and send it to their teacher on Class Dojo. That is the end of the lesson for today. You can use this information to answer your Google Forms a little bit later, and we'll be back with you again real soon.